Cleaning fridge food leaks and the fridge vent grate and inside the fridge. Okay, so usually people have sticky stuff that comes out of the fridge. You just have to move the fridge. If it's not a gas fridge, natural gas fridge, if it's not, then you can move it. But if it is, then I would leave it there and just clean as much as you can around it. And stick stuff under it carefully. Not around the gas tube, but just around underneath the feet, the front where the leak is. And clean as much as you can. Having a good grout brush helps a lot. Sometimes sticky stuff stays in the grout for too long and almost morphs with the sanded grout. It becomes almost impossible. In some houses I've cleaned, it's been almost impossible to get sticky stuff out of the grout. So, a lot of people ignore this part because it's irritating and it keeps coming back. People's stuff in their fridge leaks out. It's a repetitive thing. So once you just soak it down with some watered down bleach, you only need less than half a cap full of the bleach. And then the rest of the water sprayer bottle needs to be full of water. Because you only need a cap full of bleach for an entire washing machine load, according to the label instructions. But a lot of people are over bleaching things. Now I'm going to clean inside the fridge, and wherever this leaked, it looks like it's old fry oil. We were frying fish and tenderized chicken and making our own chicken nuggies. That turned out well. And so there's got to be a better way to clean this grate. Sometimes you can pull the grate off. A lot of people's fridges, their grate is broken. And I've cleaned grates that have duct tape all over them. I've cleaned grates that have been super glued back together. I've cleaned grates that are sharp and kind of cut my fingers because they've been broken. And not the funnest experience. And a lot of stuff will leak under the fridge. The drip pan on this fridge, I just got this, is sagging to the ground. Not the best thing, but I'm going to deal with that later. Always put something off if you can't handle dealing with it right now and you don't have a plan. Because otherwise it'll derail what you were supposed to be doing right now, which is basically cleaning up this leak. So this old fry oil has oozed everywhere. And it's going to stink. It's expired at this point. I have to dump it outside or in the trash. Never pour used oil down your sink. Don't do it. Or animal fats and greases that have been cooked. See, the tile is soaked up a lot of this sticky oil. And there's some instructions under here. It's pretty nifty. They put them under there in a little plastic slip bag. This won't help my situation right now. I just need to scrub. So I'll probably just fold this back up and stuff it back under the fridge. But this will tell you about your ice maker, your water line, your fridge voltage, some measurements, blah, blah, blah. It's better that it's here under the fridge than jammed in a drawer with other instruction manuals. Because a lot of the times, when people move, they take a handful of those instruction manuals and throw them in the trash. It's usually not something to hold on to, especially if your fridge is older. You kind of end up tossing those instructions. So now I'm going to take the grate outside and clean out this fridge and the drawers. A lot of sticky stuff will need to soak. All I'm using is a tiny bit of bleach in some water, and that loosens up some stuff simply because the water will soak into it, and a little bit of bleach will kill, some bacteria so you don't get mold in there when you're done cleaning. I've seen people who clean a fridge, shut the door, and come back in a couple weeks, and there's mold in the fridge, and they said, "Hey, what happened? I cleaned it." Well, you either got to use vinegar or you got to use some bleach when you're cleaning. And don't use too much bleach because it'll poison you and kill all the flora in your digestive tract and starve you to death. because that's what bleach does. It soaks into your skin, it goes in your bloodstream, and it'll kill all the healthy bacteria that you need in your gut to digest your food. So do not over bleach yourself. All right, instructions over. So I got this giant watermelon. My daughter chopped it open, and it's literally just leaking also. So that's the next leak. So I'm catching the second leak after the first leak before everything leaks. It becomes a giant oozy puddle where ants will just ravage my kitchen more. So always clean up your kitchen. During ant season in the desert, you just like literally have to spend a couple weeks each morning when you wake up at about 5 or 6 a.m. Sometimes I'm up at 4 cleaning. I'm not obsessed. What are you talking about? And I'm cleaning up after ants, which is ridiculous. I've used ant traps. I've got the spray, citronella spray. I'm not going to use Raid. That's going to mess me up, make me sicker. I have a lot of allergies and stuff, so, but I clean a lot of different things in life. I've cleaned all over the place, all kinds of situations. And so I've picked up everybody else's stuff that they were dealing with, and my body is dealing with their stuff and my stuff. So you get around people's houses, you get their bacteria, you get their viruses, you get their funguses, everything. You pick stuff up. So cleaning, as a cleaner, you kind of adapt, you get a stronger immune system, you survive more, especially if you don't over bleach yourself. Never do that. So this little brush also, if you have a brush like this, it does a lot. It could do a lot of tight, small crevices, cracks, all kinds of really grooved areas that are hard to clean. If you leave food and junk and grease in those grooves, it will take what am I speaking a different language? It won't take long before mold grows there. It won't take long before that will harden and become more and more difficult to clean up. It won't take long for, whatever's in that goo to actually start eroding the area it's stuck in. Look, if you have pineapple juice right up against plastics, the older the plastics, the more the pineapple juice is going to damage that plastic. Or apple cider vinegar, too much of it sitting there for too long. Yes, I do the shake method to remove crumbs from the rag that I'm using to clean up with. I shake it. Some people hate that. I clean for a woman who's rude to me, so rude, because I would shake the rag or snap it by my leg, and she thought that was a dirty gesture. And I was like, wait a minute, why are you in here staring at me cleaning if you don't like how I clean? I'm like, I'm not going to change my techniques so that you feel comfortable. I'm not doing anything inappropriate. I'm literally just cleaning, and I will snap the rag sometimes. Obviously, I was in a room where snapping the rag against my leg to get the crumbs and hair and bits out of the rag wasn't going anywhere else in the room onto any other surfaces that needed to be cleaned. So she was just complaining because she thought it was inappropriate. I don't know what religious doctrine she had in her head, but to accuse someone of being overly dirty, the way she put it made me feel like I was a dirty person because I would snap the rag clean on my leg. And it wasn't like a dirty gesture. It was just down by my shin and my ankle, just a quick snap. Anyways, I've had, oh my gosh, there's so many stories I've had from cleaning people's houses. I could sit there and just talk for hours. Everybody's different. It's wild out there. It's weird. And you just going to clean, like it's a simple subject. Wipe junk off, clean, vacuum, put things back. Simple subject. You're doing a simple action. But people make things so dynamic. So the dynamic stuff from the homeowners or whoever's, around, really, that's why I like cleaning with nobody around, you know? It's okay to interact with people, but get off my back. I'm working. So now I cleaned out my shelves and I'm gonna hose out the drawers outside with the sprayer nozzle because that's so much faster than trying to jam them under the sink faucet. I did fix my sink faucet, thank God. That was so annoying to have that leak under the sink dripping into a bucket. That was annoying. You could hear it throughout the house. It was like, I'm like, dang, man. If I wanted a grandfather clock, I would have bought one. I don't need to hear my sink becoming that's the second hand on a clock echoing throughout the house. It's like, shush. So, yep, sweep up the floor, clean up where the goo is. Not only do ants find food that leaks out of a fridge, but the things that eat the ants will come. So you're going to have like the chain of creatures pretty soon. That sounds stupid, but until you actually see it happening, you're going to end up getting spiders, and moths will also like to come in if you have food laying around or gooey food stuck on the floor. And then you'll get all kinds of other little critters, like the little silverfish, and pretty soon things that want to eat those things will come in. We've had a wind scorpion in the house. That thing was aggressive. It did not have a stinging tail, but it had some huge front fangs and some really mean pinchers, like a little crab on the front of its arms. So we learned, okay, the cycle of life follows if we don't get rid of the messes. So, yep, just do a scrub, a wipe and a scrub. Every week I've got it on the calendar. I need to get some stuff done around the house. This is just normal. This is what normal people should be doing. I know a lot of the older generation is gone. They used to clean on a regular basis. My grandma had stitched pillows that said laundry day, Wednesday, cook day, where they cook and prepare food in Tupperware for the rest of the week. It was like Monday or Sunday. Saturday was rest day. Things that my mother's generation laughed and scoffed at, as my mother's generation would go out and party and do drugs and stupid stuff and listen to that dumb music that really just led people completely astray. Now, I'm not a pilgrim nor a Mormon, but honestly, just having things function is the thing that makes your life better. It keeps you exercised, so you're not a blimp sitting on your sofa complaining that your house is a mess, wanting more painkillers. Like, stop it. I'm going to be rude about it. There's no way around it anymore. It's obvious. You got to get off your duff and clean your stuff. I want a t-shirt that says that. Get off your duff and clean your stuff. You know what? Yep, I want a t-shirt that says that. Now, putting these drawers back in the fridge, it's like a Rubik's Cube to me. I don't really like how everything's Tetrised in here in a special way. Like, it could have made it basically simple, but no, this drawer fits here and that drawer fits there. All right. Enough of that. So just wipe your crap out, clean up your fridge, take care of your food. If it's starting to spoil, deal with it. If you got watermelon that's about to expire, you could chop it up, toss the rind out in the compost, and juice the watermelon and put some sugar with it, put it in a pitcher and stick it in the fridge. That's what you can do with leftover watermelon. Same thing with any kind of fruits. If it's starting to expire, you could either make a pie or tarts, or if you got expiring blueberries, wash them off, pick out the really gross ones first, make some muffins. Do it. then you'll have a treat. You wouldn't have wasted money, and you got something to eat later that you can improve on your cooking, for crying out loud. I still haven't done that. Made improvements on my cooking. I do make tarts now. And they're decent. I seem to make pie crust fine. And tarts. And I can make a pie. It's really thick crust, but it's like tack bread. So you won't be hungry. That's all I can say about it. It's full of sugar and you won't be hungry. I'm not a cook. That's okay. We're a baker. So, yep, clean up your fridge drawers after finding the leak. And then this fun grate thing, I'm going to blast that with the hose water too. That's where that's going. And just get your setting on to full and just hose the thing off. Now I've cleaned houses where people had spiders living in this thing. So be careful where you're grabbing it. Some people had those nasty little brown recluses living in the grate under their fridge. And that's gross because they had leaks in food, leftovers, and the spiders would eat the bugs that were going for the food. So there's your chain of events. You want less bugs in your house. You got to clean up your own food. They're not really in there. The bugs don't go in there for stuff that doesn't have food on it. Unless they're eating fabric. Moths will eat fabric. Now and then I'll be wearing a shirt and there's holes in it. And then I have to go find where the moths got in. But there's just bugs. No matter where you live, there's bugs and critters and whatnot. So yep, just hose it out. It's good. That's what back porches are for. This is the cleaning station. Everything gets cleaned right there. And this should snap in. Always watch out for your gas line if you got a gas line. Just move it around and go around the gas line. Don't push the gas line. This one does not have a gas line. It's got a water tube under that door that goes up into the door. So just move the plastic around the water tube and snap it back on. So, little sweep up, little mop. This is pretty easy stuff. Took me 20 minutes to do this in the morning. I had spent already 2 hours cleaning up ants in the bathroom. They were after the cat food. It's another fun experience if you got pets. So that citronella and other sprays with natural ingredients do keep the ants away. And so that'll take care of that. You spray it along the edges of the wall, under the baseboards, wherever the ants are coming in. Sometimes it's a window, and then you just leave the spray there. Do not wipe it away. The natural spray is pretty safe for animals. Don't spray it in the water or their food bowl. Don't spray it where they're going to walk and lick their paws because they will get indigestion or diarrhea or whatever. They can't handle the strong citronella and other essential oils in their digestion. So keep it at the edges of the wall just so you can keep those bugs away. Ants tend to follow a scent trail. So once one scout ant wanders into a kitchen by itself, it's leaving a trail. And then it goes to find the foods or whatever that smells good. This morning they were after coffee on the countertop. Some coffee grounds that were left in the little coffee press. And they were after that. And so I had to pull the stove out and scrub back there and spray because they were marching their way out from the wall behind the stove. So I took care of that. And I'm going to have to make sure the coffee grounds get dumped every day. Be sure to check out buymeacoffee.com. It should be /GMarie, or you can use your phone. In the settings on your main screen should be a scan the barcode thing. and then you just scan it and click it, and you can throw me a couple dollars to help out. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe.